Hey guys, it's me, Miss Mills, and welcome to Mrs. Mills' Math Time. The whole point of this video is to help you out with IXL W9, solving multi-step equations. Now in this, it also is going to sprinkle in solving in equations with variables on both sides. That's why you have to do this on Friday. So if you have not done solving multi-step equations, or if you have not done solving equations with variables on both sides, notes, or the worksheet that goes along with either of those notes, you need to go do those first before you come and do this. I'm going to do a lot of examples on this IXL. It's going to be a pretty lengthy video because, again, I want to do as many examples with you as possible because I want to help y'all out. But you'll have to get this to an 80% for mastery, and you know what? Let's go ahead and get started. Let's just dive in, guys. Let's go. All right, so if y'all remember, your first step with solving multi-step equations is you have to, and I mean you have to distribute first. If you have an opportunity to use a distributive property, you have to do that first. After you do that, then you need to see if you can combine any like terms. If you can combine like terms, you have to do that next. And once you've done that, then and only then can you go ahead and solve your 1 or 2 step equation. Okay, so distribute first if you can, combine like terms if you can, and then you can solve your 1 or 2 step equation. Guys, let's do these. So our first problem is 3m minus 6 plus 1. That's equal to 10. Okay, let's go. All right. Y'all can't see it. Hope y'all can now. Okay. All right, cool. Let me fix something real quick. Okay. That was going to bother me. Okay, so in this particular problem, before I can go ahead and solve, I need to distribute first. I have an opportunity here where I can use the distributive property, so I need to go ahead and do that. So remember, when you have a variable by itself, you need to automatically assume there is a 1 in front of that variable. So 3 times 1, well, 3 multiplied by 1 is giving me 3m, because we have to bring that variable down. Positive 3 times negative 6 is going to give me negative 18. I'm going to bring down this plus 1, and I'm going to bring down that is equal to 10. All right, so I did the distributive property. I brought everything else down. Now I need to see, are there any like terms I can go ahead and combine? Well, if I'm looking over here, I see that I have a negative 18 and a plus 1 here that I can go ahead and solve that. So negative 18 plus 1, well, that is going to give me a negative 17. And I'll bring down my 3m, and I'm going to make that equal to 10. And now I have a 2-step equation that I can go ahead and solve. So first step of doing that is I need to make my balance beam. Cool. And I need to get rid of my constants first. So my constant, remember, is the number that you can get rid of using addition or subtraction, or you can think of it as the number that doesn't have the variable like right next to it. It's going to be like kind of attached to it, like separate. It's going to be separate. That's your constant. I need to get rid of it first. So you take the operation in front of it. This says minus 17. So this is a negative 17 right here. So the opposite of subtracting something by 17 or a negative 17 is adding something by 17 or a positive 17. Again, those are the same thing. So the opposite of a negative 17 is a positive 17. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if I do that on one side of the equation, I have to do the same thing on the other side as well. Again, I like putting it directly under the problem that I want to solve. Like I know I want to do 10 plus 17, so I want to put it right under that. So I can go ahead and solve it. Saves me some time. So these are opposites. I'll cancel them out, and I'll bring down my 3m. 10 plus 17 is going to give me 27. All right, now I have my last step. I want to isolate m. That is the whole goal, is I want to get that variable by itself. So in this case, 3 is getting multiplied by m, so I have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So if the opposite of m multiplied by 3 is going to be m divided by 3. If I do that on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. These cancel out, leaving me with just my variable, which is m. And then 27 divided by 3 is going to give us 9. This is IXL, though. And if I know anything about IXLs, I know in particular that if you mess up on an IXL, it's not very nice to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into here to make sure that it's correct, because I don't want to mess up on it. So I can plug it in here, this equation or this equation. It's up to you. I like to plug it into the equation where I have simplified everything, and then I started like solving the two-step because it's just going to make it easier, but it doesn't matter which one you plug it into. But again, I like to plug it in when I've simplified everything. So I'll plug it into this equation. M is equal to 9, so I'm going to plug it in here. 3 times 9, and I like to put my variable in parentheses because organization, minus 17, that's going to be equal to 10. Well, it better be equal to 10 because, I don't want to deal with it. Well, 3 times 9 is 27. I'll bring down this minus 17. That's minus 17, by the way, guys. It's not a weird in. All right, so 27 minus 17, well, that is 10. So is 10 equal to 10? Yeah, it is. So that works. So I'm going to go to my IXL and I'm going to say, hey, this is equal to 9. Okay, cool. Let's do this next problem. We have c minus 10. We have that over negative 2. That's going to be equal to 0. Okay. All right, so there's a couple of ways you can solve this problem. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and get rid of this negative 2 divided by negative 2. I want to go ahead and get rid of that. So again, the opposite of dividing something by negative 2 is to multiply it by negative 2. And if I do that on one side, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Not like it's going to do anything, but so now that I have, done this, negative 2 divided by, these are going to be opposites. So I'll bring down now this c minus 10. And then 0 times negative 2, well, that's just going to be 0. And now I have my one-step equation. I have c minus 10. So what I want to do here is I want to do the opposite of subtracting c by 10. So I need to add it by 10. And if I do that on one side, I need to do it on the other side as well. Well, these cancel out. They're opposites, leaving me with just my variable. So I'll bring it down. 0 plus 10 is going to give me 10. So c should be equal to 10. That is going to work because if I plug 10 into this problem, I would have 10 minus 10, which is 0. 0 divided by negative 2 is 0. So yeah, that'll work. C is going to be equal to 10. So guys, in this particular problem, what you need to do is you need to get rid of this everything divided by 2 first by multiplying both sides by whatever number this is. In this case, it was negative 2, so that's what I did. And then you can go ahead and solve your one step. So in this case, C is equal to 10. All right, next problemo. All right, in this case, we have variables on both sides. So guys, y'all, if you have not watched my variables on both sides video, you really do need to do that first. So in this case, what I like to do is I need to choose a variable side and a constant side. Well, in this particular case, negative 2 is bigger than negative 5, remember. Yeah, negative 2 is bigger than negative 5. So since that's the case, I'm going to make this my variable side. So then this is going to be my constant side. Okay. So if this is my variable side, that means I need to move everything. I need to move my variable over here. So let's do that. I'm going to add 5b to get rid of it. And if I add it on this side, I have to do the same thing on this side as well. And again, I like putting it directly under the variable that I want to go ahead and solve. Negative 2b plus 5b, well, that's going to leave me with 3b. I'll bring down this plus 6. And, well, now I don't have anything on this side, so I'm going to say that's equal to 0. Well, now that I've moved my variables over, I need to now move my constants over to the other side. So I need to get rid of this plus 6. So the opposite of a plus 6 is subtraction by 6. Or negative 6, whatever, same thing. And if I do that on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well, with the balance beam. So now let's solve. These canceled out, they're opposites. So I'm going to bring down my 3b, and then 0 minus 6 is going to leave me with negative 6. Okay? And then I have my last step. I need to isolate this variable. I need to get b by itself. So in this case, 3 is getting multiplied by b. So I need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. If I do that on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side as well. So these cancel out. So I'm bringing down my b. Negative 6 divided by 3, well, that's going to leave me with negative 2. So I'm going to plug this into here just to make sure that I'm correct. So let's see. Negative 2 times negative 2, I'm going to plug that in, plus 6. That's equal to -5, and I'm going to plug in that -2 in there as well. Wait a second. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, okay. So -2 times -2, well, that's going to give me a +4. I'm going to bring down that +6. -5 times -2 is going to give me a positive as well. It's going to give me a +10. All right, so 4 plus 6, hey, you know what, guys? That's equal to 10. So 10 is equal to 10, so that means we are correct. So we need to go ahead and plug in -2. This is equal to -2. Let's keep going. I'm running out of paper. This stinks. Okay. Ooh. Decimals, cool. 3 1/10. We're going to multiply that r plus 9. Now I'm going to do plus 3 6/10, and that's going to be equal to 3 6/10. Cool, let's solve it. Okie dokie. So guys, if you remember in my notes, if you can distribute first, if you can distribute at all, you have to do that first. So let's go ahead and do that. We can do that here. See, we have a number and then we have that next to parentheses. So we got to use the distributive property. So what that means is I'm going to take my outside number and I'm going to multiply it by everything on the inside. So 3 1/10 times 1r. Well, that's going to give me -3 1/10 r. -3 1/10 times 9. Okay, guys, if you don't know that off the top of your head, guys, use your handy dandy calculator. It is here for you, okay? So what I'm going to plug in is I'm going to say negative, I'm going to get rid of that too. Yeah. -3 1/10, and I'm going to multiply that by 9. What did I get? -27 9/10. Great, okay. So that's what I got, and now I'm going to bring down my plus 3 6/10, and I'm going to bring down that is equal to 3 6/10. So before I can solve, I need to make sure that I cannot combine any like terms. So I need to look at this. All right, if I'm looking, so 27 9/10 and 3 6/10, they're both on the side of the equal sign, and guess what? They're like terms, so I need to combine them first. So I'm going to box them up. I need to go ahead and solve them. And remember, when you box them up, you got to take the operation in front of them. So what this turns into is -27 9/10. We're going to add that by 3 6/10. Okay, so that's what I want to do. -27 9/10. And I want to add that by 3 6/10. So let's go back here. -27 9/10. And I want to add that by 3 6/10. And what I get left over is -24 3/10. And now I can go ahead and solve my problem. So I combine like terms, so I'm going to bring this down. -3 1/10 r. And I'm going to bring down this is equal to 3 6/10. And now I can do the balance beam. I have a two-step equation. So let's go ahead and solve it. And it's blurry. Cool. So according to my two-step equation, remember, I have to get rid of the constant first. In this case, the constant is going to be -24 3/10. So I need to do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. If I do that on one side, I have to do it on the other side. Okie dokie. So these canceled out, they're opposites, but I am going to bring down this -3 1/10 r. And then 3 6/10 plus 24 3/10, well, let's see, 6 plus 3 is going to give me 9. I'm going to bring down that decimal. 4 plus 3 is going to give me 7, and I'll bring down this 2. Cool. So 3 6/10 plus 24 3/10, well, that's going to give me 27 9/10. And now I have a one-step equation. So what I'm going to do is I need to get r by itself. I need to isolate it. So what I have to do is I have to do the opposite of multiplication, because here we have multiplication, which is division. Remember, we take that operation in front of it as well. If I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. These are going to cancel out. They're opposites. But I'm going to bring down this r, because now I've isolated it. But now I still need to solve, well, 27 9/10, and I need to divide that by 3 1/10. So we have 27 9/10, and I'm going to divide that by a -3 1/10. Well, guys, that's going to just give me an easy peasy lemon squeezy -9. I would plug that back in, but for time's sake, I want to do more examples as I can, so I'm going to keep doing this. Okay, so let's keep going. We have 3, that's going to be equal to 3 and z plus -1. Okay, so it's freaking out a little bit. That's cool. Let's do this. All right, so again, if you can distribute, you have to distribute first. So in this case, I can go ahead and distribute this. So 3 times 1z, well, 1z, it's going to give me 3z. Sorry. And then 3 times a negative 1, okay, because we take the operation directly in front of it, which is this minus sign. 3 times negative 1 is going to give me a negative 3, and I'll bring down this 3 is equal to. All right, now I have a two-step, so I got to get rid of my constant first. My constant in this case is a negative 3, so what I have to do is I need to add 3. And if I do that on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. 3 plus 3 is going to give me 6. These cancel out. They're opposites. So I am going to bring down this 3z, though. 3z is not as fun as 1z. Anyway, now I need to get my variable by itself, so I need to get rid of this 3 is getting multiplied by z. So I got to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. If I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other side. 6 divided by 3, well, that's 2. These cancel out, but I can bring my variable down. Z is equal to 2. And this is going to be an easy one to plug back in, so I'll just go ahead and do that. 3 is equal to 3 parentheses. I'm going to plug in 2 for z plus negative 1. Cool. Okay, so let's do this. So 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. I'm going to bring down this 3. 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. 3 times negative 1 is going to give me a negative 3. Yeah, 6 minus 3 is 3. So 3 is equal to 3, so it works out. Yes, it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that in to here. Z is equal to 2. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to do more examples. Except, let me see. I want to jump a level to make sure they don't throw y'all any curveballs while y'all are here. No, it looks like it'll be just the same. Check one more time. Okay, that goes up to 90, so that works. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, a 90%er. Yeah, let's do it. 6 minus 10t minus 9 is equal to 9, and then we have negative 4t. That's minus 9. I'm getting too comfortable making these videos. I have a lot of free time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to distribute first because we can do that, so I need to go ahead and do that first. So 9 times negative 4 is going to give me negative 36, because remember, a positive times a negative is going to give us a negative answer. And I'm going to bring down that variable, which is a t. All right, and then I have 9 times a negative 9, because again, we take that operation in front of it. 9 times negative 9, so that is going to give me a negative 81. And I'm going to bring the rest of this down. We have 6 minus 10t minus 9. All right, so before I can solve, I do also see that on this side, I have some like terms that I need to combine first. I have this 6, and then I have this negative 9. So I do need to go ahead and do that. So 6 minus 9, well, that's going to give me negative 3. I'm going to bring down this negative 10t, because remember, you take the operation with it down. I'm going to bring down that equal sign, and I'm going to bring the rest of this down. Negative 36t, and that's going to be minus 81. All right. So I have variables on both sides. So what that means is I have to choose a variable side and I have to choose a constant side. And if I remember from my notes, I'm going to choose a variable side where my variable is the bigger number. Be careful with negatives, okay? If I'm looking at this, negative 10, because we take the operation in front of it, negative 10 is larger than negative 36. So this is going to be my variable side. That's my variable side. This is going to be my constant side. So what I want to do is I'm going to move my variables to this side. Or I guess I'm just the opposite. I'm going to move my variables to this side, yeah. And then I'm going to move my constants to this side. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So I got to move my variable first. So what I'm going to do is I need to do the opposite of negative 36t. So the opposite of negative 36t is positive 36t. If I do that on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. So negative 10 plus 36, well, and again, guys, I want to put my variable right under it so I can go ahead and solve this. But negative 10 plus 36, well, that's going to give me 26t left over. I'm going to bring down this negative 3. And since this was a positive 26t, I'm going to put a plus sign in between those, okay? Since this was a positive 26t, I'm going to put a plus sign in between these. Then I'm going to cancel these out. They're opposites, but I will bring down this negative 81. Remember, we take the operation in front of it. So I'm going to bring down this negative 81. All right, now I have a two-step equation. Or I need to move my constants to the other side, whichever way works for you. So I need to get rid of this first anyway. This is a negative 3, and I need to move it to this side, my constant side. So the opposite of a negative 3 is a positive 3. And if I do that on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. All right. These cancel out. They're opposites. But I'm going to bring down this 26t. And then negative 81 plus 3, well, that is going to give me negative 78. All right. So now I'm on my last step. I need to get the t isolated. So I need to do the opposite of 26 getting multiplied by t, which is division. If I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. So these cancel out. I'm going to bring down my t, though. And then I have negative 78, and I need to divide that by 26. So negative 78 divided by 26, well, that is going to give me an easy peasy lemon squeezy, negative 3. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to say that is negative 3. I'm going to do one more example. If y'all need any more help after this, let me know, and I'll make more videos doing more examples. Just let me know. Comment under this video if you want to. I'll do more if I have to. But I'm going to do one more for this video. It's starting to get pretty lengthy. So we have 9p minus 7 minus 6p is equal to negative 4p plus 7. So if I remember back to my notes, it said distribute first, and then it said combine like terms, and then it said do everything else. So in this case, I don't have a chance to use a distributive property. But what I do have is if I'm looking on this side, I can combine some like terms. I have a 9p here and a negative 6p that I can go ahead and solve them. So I need to do that first. 9 minus 6 is going to give me 3p. I'll bring down this negative 7. And then I'll bring the rest of this down. All right. Both sides can't combine like terms anymore, so it's as simplified as I can possibly get it, so I can go ahead and choose a variable side and a constant side. So again, I choose my variable side based on which side has a variable that is worth the most. In this case, 3 is bigger than negative 4, so this is going to be my variable side. If that's my variable side, this is going to be my constant side. Cool. All right, so I want to move my variables first, so I need to get rid of this negative 4p and move it over here. So negative 4p, the opposite, it's going to be addition. If I do it on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side as well. 4 plus 3 is going to give me 7p. I'll bring down this negative 7. These canceled out, they're opposites, and I'll bring down this positive 7. Okay, now I need to move my constant to the other side, and it does the opposite. I need to move my constant to the other side. I'm starting to learn. Anyway, I need to get this moved over here. So this is a negative 7, so I need to do the opposite of a negative 7, which is a positive 7. If I do it on one side, I have to do it on the other side as well. These cancel out, they're opposites, but I can bring down this 7p. And then 7 plus 7, well, that's going to give me 14. And now I can solve my one-step equation. The whole goal is to get p isolated, so I need to do that. In this case, p is getting multiplied by 7, so I need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is divide it by 7. If I do that on one side, I have to do the same thing on the other side as well. These cancel out, but I have my p isolated now. 14 divided by 7, that's going to give me 2. So p is going to be equal to 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. Guys, if y'all have any more questions about this, let me know. Y'all do have to get this to an 80%, not a 90%. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I know this was a lot of work for 1 week, but guys, there's not much longer in the school year, so we really just gotta go. So let me know if you need any help, and again, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Bye. There we go.